You know, the problem with being in a caloric deficit, trying to lose weight or maintain muscle and lose weight, is that most of the time, not always, but most of the time, you are not hungry, but you are having some intense cravings. And people say, well, I'm hungry, but you know, if you ask yourself the questions when your cravings begins, maybe it's afternoon or evening, that if I have a bowl of vegetables and some, I don't know, eggs, would I eat that and would it satisfy my craving? And the answer most of the time is gonna be no, because you already imagine in your mind that you're gonna go out and buy a pack of ice cream or crepes or a hamburger or a pizza. Your brain is already releasing dopamine, anticipation, anticipating the good thing to coming in, and it's make you feel happy once you decide that you're gonna go for it. But then if your thoughts change to a direction where you say, you know, actually, how about, because I'm hungry, I'm just gonna have a bowl of veggies or maybe some chicken breast with rice, and you will see that your mind is not really happy about that change, not at all. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you have to distinguish, you have to know first that you have to just sit down and be mindful about it. Like, am I really hungry, or is just my missing my pleasure food? You know. So again, it's the low dopamine level, the low serotonin level. Someone is born with generally in a lower level of these neurotransmitters, these so-called pleasure hormones. But we also reduce the baseline of this by over consuming, not just indulging in activities like junk food eating, but also spending time, too much time on our smartphone, social media, internet pornography, gaming. So it's a very, very serious subject, and I just want to say that try to hack your. There are hacks when you decide to do the caloric deficit. In the previous video, I mentioned about this my situation when I know that exactly what time my cravings will start, and short before that happens, I have a meal full of the eggs and avocados, right? I got the healthy fats and I got the amino acids from the eggs that the body craves, and a healthy amount of protein, really, really filling. You eat that meal, let's say 3 eggs, half avocado, you wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your blood sugar stabilizes, and then you realize that the cravings are often very much related to the instability of the blood sugar levels. When, let's just say, you have a soft drink, a Coke, right? It spikes your blood sugar, insulin comes in, and then it drops, and then you have the coma and the cravings. That we know. But once you add, I'm just saying fiber, but you just eat whole food, that yo-yo effect, that up and down, is not gonna be the same, and the cravings are going to be less intense. At least that is my experience and the people I work with. The other thing is portion control. I know that is very difficult if you are like I used to be, that level of binge eater, food addict. People tell you, like, buy, let's say you buy a pack of ice cream with 5 cornettos in the box, and they tell you, like, eat one every single day. And I would tell them, bro, that's not happening if I have 5 cornettos in the box. I'm going to eat it in less than an hour in one day. So, many people who have healthier habits, they don't understand this. But if you are like me and you would eat all the five in 1 hour, then you're gonna have to clear out your room, your place. You have to tell your family, your wife, your husband, your kids, your grandparents, your parents, so not to bring anything that triggers you. That triggers. The other thing I want to mention here is every time you feel, it's not just about the food, but when you feel down, you feel sad, when you feel like there is no pleasure in life, in little things. As I mentioned before, that's just because you spend too much time on the pleasure side of things, over consumed in cheap, rewarding activities. And there is a way out of that, is to, obviously to take the pain and balance, pain and pleasure balance, have to tip towards the pain side of things a little bit more often, which means staying away from these activities progressively. You have to build a system to yourself where you are limiting these activities. You can do it gradually, you can do it cold turkey, but you have to limit, and it's gonna be a painful process, but it will worth it. You can recover from this. And remember, every time you have when you say, okay, today I eat clean, and then in the evening time you feel depressed, or all day you feel depressed, because of the same reason, because your brain is trying to figure out how to get some stimulation in, but you refuse to give it to it. Remember that pain is already the sign of the recovery. After pain always comes a little bit of pleasure. If you observe your feelings, let's say you have a terrible day today in the evening because you're craving like crazy for the food, and then you don't give it to yourself, you will see that next day in the morning you wake up and you feel much better, and you feel better than if you already had it first of all, you don't have the guilt that you did it, but also, like I said, this dopamine baseline tips towards the pleasure side because you experience that much of a dip. And I cannot really, I'm not an expert on this subject. Again, there are YouTubers who can speak to you in English and explain this pleasure and pain balance. But just you have to make a sacrifice in order to recover. As always, things do not come for free. There's always have to experience pain. It is through all aspects of life. You cannot continue this. There is a way out, and if you ask yourself the questions, like, if I'm not happy, and if I kind of know what's the reason for it, but the moment I want to change and I start a clean eating, a diet, or I just give up on an addiction or bad habit, and then the first days are so tough, so difficult, and then you kind of quit, you give up, because that voice in your head tells you that life sucks, there is no happiness, there is no purpose, and it tries to convince you it's not going to change for the better until you get back to your bad habits. So you have to understand this. You have to not to listen to the inner voice sometimes, and you have to believe that there is a chance for recovery, and it will not take forever. In fact, it will take only a short time. You can get your life back. Gradually you're going to experience. It's not like suddenly you wake up and then, oh, now I'm so happy. It's going to be, again, it's a painful process. It's a slow process, just like an addict who's recovering, having withdrawal symptoms. You have to decide yourself, you want to stay in that limbo, in that never-ending hamster wheel of you know, choosing the cheap pleasures, and then days and days are passing by and everything is just so empty, feels empty, not happy, more being more disconnected from people, and it takes over your mind. It takes over your mind like a virus, like a parasite, like their thoughts. You know, you cannot be progressive thinking about things that I want to progress or improve my life, because all my thoughts are around this subject of what meal I'm gonna have next, and the anxiety about around it. If you are in that serious, like I was, in that seriousness of junk food addiction, you better choose the, in my opinion, you better choose the cold turkey approach, and then quit sugar altogether for, let's say, sugar for 30 days, like completely, and take the pain, because the gradual approach is going to hurt and is going to be much more slow. But whatever works for you, you can experiment with everything else. But get your life back, man. It's amazing. You know how I cannot really tell you. You wouldn't understand if you are in a dip at the moment. How to come up to the light. You you just feel good. You wake up and you feel better. Your brain is adapting. You rewire your brain. It's like a computer, and you cannot imagine at the moment that 1 month from now you're not gonna be thinking about those foods at all. You cannot imagine that, but that is what is going to happen if you do it. So please do it. Please do it. And yeah, leave me a message in the comment section if you need any, if you want to chat about this subject or we need any help. I'm here to help. Take care, guys. See ya.